We are live. Focus?
Oh, sorry. I was expecting Sporadic to start. I was
No,
expecting Sporadic to start. I thought you said
we had a
Sporadic would introduce us.
miscommunication, sorry.
I was told that you would introduce yourself, but I'm very.
I'm sorry. I got the complete wrong idea. Hi, everyone. My name is FocusSight. This is the perfect way to start at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. So sorry for that. Hi, everyone. My name is FocusSight, or just Focus. You may recognize me from hosting earlier. Today, I'm happy to show you guys Mega Man Xtreme 2, a game you've probably never heard of, but is one of the most fantastic Game Boy Color games I've ever played. I'm currently playing the Japanese version, technically called Rockman X2 Soul Eraser. Yeah, before I begin, though, I want to mention that these are the settings I currently have for Extreme Mode, which is basically the combination mode between Zero Mission and X Mission, which are the options we'll have for the bid war for what category I revisit. I have Select set to be Scramble Change as it's listed, which basically swaps between 0 and X. This will become pretty useful throughout the run. Auto charge is off, so X's weapons will not charge at all for us. But auto fire, Renxia, is on, so we have that. So basically, that means basically less mashing. With that in mind, I think we are pretty much ready to begin. I apologize for the opening. I got completely thrown off there. Are we ready on time? Okay, I presume we're ready on time. Cool. So I'll begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Mega Man Xtreme 2. While this might be a sequel to Xtreme 1, the games technically have no connection between one another. And honestly, Xtreme 2 is all you need. Xtreme 2 is the better of the two games for sure. I'll just start off with a basic synopsis of the game. This game takes place between X3 and X4. And effectively, the Maverick Hunters have found an island where the souls of Reploids, basically humanoid robots, have been essentially sucked out and lost. And like, what is happening? So they go to investigate it, and it's once they defeat the boss here, they're like, oh, there are these people named Gareth and Berkana, and they're stealing souls from people. And in order for Gareth, basically, it goes like, ha, you'll never defeat me unless you defeat these eight robots we've revised, these 8 Mavericks, who are sort of rogue Reploids. Or specifically, robot-animal hybrids, which then become Mavericks. And so they have to defeat the 8 Mavericks, and at that point they realize, oh, we need to defeat Gareth and Berkana, and then there's a totally not expected, oh, who could it ever be? It's totally not Sigma, right? You know, not the boss that we see in every single X game. Totally not. So yeah, once we, that's basically the synopsis of the game. It takes place between X3 and X4, and acts as a bridge between the two. It is very fast-paced, I should also warn. This game goes by really quick. And I think because of that, it tends to be quite fun to go through. But yeah, if we have, this is a good time for donations or any shoutouts if we have any at all.
I got really stuck on the part where you said that they were sucking the souls out of it.
Okay, you can be stuck on that if you'd like. That's the image they show in the beginning cutscene. It's just like everyone's husks of themselves and the souls just fly away.
If you would like to talk about your bid war that's gonna end at the end of this run and determine the next run, that would be wonderful.
Oh, for sure. So basically what we're playing now is the Extreme mode. The Extreme mode effectively is the two missions that you begin with the game. So if you have a game without any save file, the only modes you'll have unlocked are Zero Mission and X Mission. This combines the two and amps up the difficulty as well, so it's arguably the most ideal way to play through the game and show everything. But that doesn't mean that the original modes themselves, X Mission, Zero Mission, they have their own really routes and stuff, and they show off things that we don't see in this run. Zero Mission is considered to be harder, but X Mission is also considered to be a bit more fast-paced, I suppose. It depends on how you look at things. I think Extreme is the best mode in the game, but the other individual 2 missions also have their own strengths. Any percent X has a lot of unique boss methods because they're different to the boss methods we see here, and Zero 100% shows off sections of the game we wouldn't see in Extreme mode, like Zero's final boss against Gareth. We don't actually see that in the Extreme mode at all. So depending on what other stuff you would like to see in this run after we finish Extreme 100%, it's up to you really if you guys want to bid for it. I think either option would be really good, to be honest. Anyhow, while I'm here, what exactly do we mean when we say 100% in this game? So every stage in this game has what's known as a heart tank, and an armor upgrade, depending on the character. So there are some armor upgrades that are only for Zero, and some ones that are only for X. For some reason, Dr. Light, who is supposed to be the one that, you know, tried to defeat Zero in the plot of the games, decides, okay, I'm gonna make upgrades for Zero to help X, which doesn't make any sense, because it assumes that Zero, who, spoiler alert, in the X series is actually supposed to be, like, the main antagonist to X. That was what he was designed to do, but, plot reasons basically mean Zero becomes good. And Dr. Light just somehow predicts that and is like, I'm gonna make things to help what would be the invention of my worst enemy, because that makes sense. But essentially what we need to get in 100% in Extreme mode is every single heart tank, the 2 sub-tanks, which I've gotten one of in this area. It's the one I got after that climb up before the elevator section. And all the armor upgrades. Essentially, it makes it a bit more marathon safe. And also, ooh, this is a good pattern for Wire Sponge. Wire Sponge can be a bit frustrating to go against, because his patterns are all dependent upon how he goes. This is excellent, though. We're basically trying to get Wire Sponge not to go into the desperation mode. He sort of turns red and goes, oh, I'm gonna shoot electricity like a sponge would. And essentially, if you get really good luck like that, you actually can get, like, really, really good times. That was very good. And we got fast text. Fast text is a thing that happens. I don't know how to explain it, because I don't know how it works, and no one really does. But if you get fast text, 2 seconds saved. And now we're going on to Tunnel Rhino. So there's a very particular route we take in this game, which is based on how we can get everything in one playthrough. For instance, if I was doing a 100% X mission, I'd actually have to do a revisit to an area because there is a weapon that I can't get in, like, one playthrough that I have to go back to after I defeat all the Mavericks. But because of the route we're taking here, we can actually get everything in one go. There's no need to revisit any of the stages to get something for 100%, which makes this a lot smoother. I'll mention exactly the difference, why we can do that in just a little bit. That'll be in, like, the 5th stage. But Tunnel Rhino here has one of the most useful armor upgrades for Zero, which basically becomes the basis of all boss combat for Zero. And that is Zero Final. I forget what kind of part it is. It's either like I think it's the arm part. So, like, there are 4 parts in total. Arm, body, foot, and head. The foot parts for both characters essentially allow you to break certain blocks. These blocks require lightning to be broken, which we just did right there. And you may have also noticed as well, I've been going to something called the Part Shop and using, like, this. For some reason, even though we're trying to save the souls, they're also used as currency, which makes sense. So you can buy parts at the shop with souls. We actually need 2,000 to get everything we need, but for the beginning, we can at least equip these two. This is Z-Saber +1, which increases Zero's strength, and Energy Saver, which basically reduces weapon energy use by half. This is useful because the weapon we just got, the special attack we just got, called Zero Final, actually takes weapon energy to use, which is unusual for Zero. So we can normally use it only once per area, because it takes more than half of Zero's energy bar, or weapon gauge. I'm now playing as X, as you can tell, to basically reduce damage on Zero. I should also warn there is some kind of bright flashing in this game, so if you are not good with quick flashes of light, I would recommend just being prepared for that if possible. We'll see it more at the final boss, but yeah, with Zero Final, essentially what I can do is I can menu just go right, and then it'll do like a dash attack that takes 10 points of damage. Every single boss in this game takes 32 hits to defeat. A jump slash as Zero gives 4 points of damage, although I just regular slash, so whoop. We can use Zero Final to get almost everything out, and then I can just defeat the boss after that. So pretty much the strategy for most of the bosses now is essentially to use Zero Final twice and then jump slash 3 times. So far this is a pretty good run, honestly. I'm pretty happy with this overall. Yeah, but the most part, there isn't really much other than simple movement in Xtreme 2. There aren't really many big glitches, but one of the main important things you have to keep in mind is that this game doesn't actually have a dash button, unlike pretty much all the other X titles. That's simply because of the limitations of the Game Boy Color that it's on. There is only so many buttons you could use on a Game Boy Color. And so to dash, there are 3 different methods that are really important to basically keep in your head and swap between. So the first of which is you can double tap either left or right, and that allows you to do a dash jump afterwards. While you can't spam things as easy with that, it does mean that you can really quickly maintain your momentum in midair. The second one is an air dash, which is only available to 0 at the beginning of the game, but this armor upgrade we get here as X allows us to do air dashes as X. It also allows us to do vertical air dashes, something 0 can't do. So for extra height, it's really useful. There's this vertical climbing section. This one can be really annoying to do sometimes. And the third method of dashing is down and A. While this is useful for spamming dashes, it's just not useful if you're only I'm just trying to get this, this bat. I forgot what animals were for a second. But down A dashing is really only used in tight corridors. And really long stretches of straight, unchanging land or land that goes down. So it's useful for those areas, but not really useful if you want to keep your momentum going into a stage. So swapping between down A dashing, double tap dashing, and air dashing is really important. Over time, it just becomes sort of second hand to people who run Xtreme 2, but it can be really clunky to get used to if you're just playing the game casually. We've just gotten the foot parts as X, which allows us to now to do air dashes as X. So now basically X and 0 are pretty much matched in terms of movability, or movement type. There are these currents of water in Volt Catfish's stage that will push you back. Let's see if I can get the skip. Ah, barely not. That's okay. Let's try it again. Can I? Okay, thank you. You notice all these, also these, little, I guess, towers? I don't know how to describe them. They cause the screen to flash. This game actually has an autosave feature, which is super useful in marathons. If you restart the game or have to die and you don't have the progress saved, the game will actually already save it for you mid-stage. So, for instance, if for some reason the game errors here and the save file is fine, it actually allows me to restart at that very point that I saved at. This is a really tight window. Got it. Okay, there. That's good. That wave there of electricity water is a one-hit kill, so if I just damage boost at the right time like I did there, I can get through it, get the heart tank, and go through. That was tight, but that was really good. And now here we're at Volt Catfish. It's a pretty, again, all the bosses get pretty easy in Extreme mode, which is funny because this is supposed to be the harder mode, but just because 0 has 0 final and everything. And so just one more, and we are done, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was a very good catfish fight. I also want to mention the souls here. So yeah, we need about 2,000 to unlock all the parts we need, because the parts only unlock at certain, boundaries. If you have enough to purchase them, only then does it work. Why? How does it work? We don't know why fast text works. It just happens. It just happens. But it's a time save nonetheless, so we'll take it. Coming up next is my favorite stage in the entire game. All the stages so far have been based off previous X games. Confusingly, Volt Catfish's stage is actually based off Toxic Seahorse from the same game, X3. And while Blast Hornet is from X3, this stage is actually completely unique to Extreme 2. It's not based off the layout of the X3 stage, and it actually uses the PlayStation version soundtrack here, which makes it a little bit more unique. Oh, why am I swapping to X now? I shouldn't have been. Whoop. We just got the heart tank there. And there's a lot of good platforming in this section, which is why I love it. And the music is also killer in this entire game. It's 8-bit renditions of all the SNES soundtracks, which is perfect. There's a nice little skip I can do here. It's very easy with X, because he has a vertical dash. So if I just jump off here, and then dash up, I can then skip all the platforming we're supposed to do there. Auto fire as X currently being on makes this a little bit easier. And I can go over here to this section. Use this move. That is a Drill Crusher, I think. Which is the move we get from completing Tunnel Rhino, the stage that we did second. That allows us to actually access this capsule. This is also why we need to defeat Wire Sponge first, otherwise we'd have no access to the capsule that gives us Zero Final. This is the body armor, it reduces all damage by half, I think. And now we get up to the really only boss that's like RNG, that's a mini-boss that's RNG. This room, which will shoot 2 at a time. Oh my god, that was perfect RNG! Oh my gosh, wow, I never get that. That is incredible. Okay, let's go. I'm just gonna try to defeat all these bees, because they have, usually get drop good souls, which they did. Yeah, we need about, with the route I take, we need exactly 100 total souls just from random drops. The small individual ones are worth 4. The ones that have 2 are worth 8. And the ones that have a total of 3 are worth 16. Let me just defeat these bees so that I can Zero Final clearly. Yeah, Zero Final will will home onto anything it's within, so if you hit the wrong enemy, you could just waste an entire thing of it. I think this is gonna gold for me. Oh, it's gonna be close. Please. Yeah, we golded. Let's go. Again! Again! How again? How? That doesn't make any sense. I think I've gotten fast text thrice, which shouldn't happen. But, yeah, it's pretty high. Next is, well, Sonic Ostrich in Japanese, but it's Overdrive Ostrich in English. This is the first instance of an auto-scroller. We have this, we have the, Ride Chaser, which can attack by either pressing up or B. Always attack by pressing up, because you can actually jump from that. You cannot jump from the attack of pressing with B, so just press up and you'll be better. Damage boosting is super useful in this stage, because these are instant kill, these little tornado things. So in order to get past them, you want to just go right ahead and, like, dash through them while you're still invincible. So I'm just concentrating here not to die. Wait here, you can do this in one cycle if I do it properly. Cool. And this jump is potentially one of the more catastrophic. If you miss that ladder, there is no way to get back up, and you need this ladder for 100%. So this is all of Zero's armor completed at this point. This gives us the head part, which allows us to bang blocks with our head. Truly a good way to go through things in life, I suppose. But this allows us to do a sequence break that wouldn't be possible in 100% in X's mission alone. And now we have another Ride Chaser segment, so if there are any donations, this is a good time to read them.
So I actually wanted to talk about that bid war again. So what I took away from what you said is that the 100% Zero mission will showcase areas that we haven't seen before. And
Both of them will. Both of them will, actually. Well, I think, yeah, Zero 100% will show a completely different final section, but X any percent will show a different routing for the stages we've been through and different boss routings. So both of them have really good incentives to choose.
Did you say that there were different, like, techs that you use on the bosses as well? In the
Yeah, in any percent there's completely different tech because we only have X available, so it's completely different.
And that is the one that is in the lead right now, is the one that's going to show off the different boss techs. The any percent X mission is in the lead at $20, and the 100% Zero mission is trailing at $1. So if you want to see the completely different ending area, that's
yeah, it's
unique to the 100%.
Yeah, it's unique to Zero's mission because we don't actually go through that area in Xtreme. And we'll explain why in a little bit.
Yeah, if you'd like to see that one, get those donations in for the bid war for the run that is going to happen right after this run.
Yeah, so far we're actually on PB pace for this. I'm actually on a really good pace to my own standards, so I'm really happy with this. But yeah, so also, to any of you who played X1, this is going to sound confusing. This is a random error that they made in the Japanese release. Which, by the way, I play in Japanese because the text is faster on those unskippable cutscenes. So it's obviously easier to go through there. This is actually Launch Octopus's theme, who is another Maverick in the same game, which we'll do last. This is not Flame Mammoth's theme, and Flame Mammoth's theme plays in Launch Octopus's stage. So they completely... I wasn't even aware that the themes were actually wrong, because I played X1, but I'm like, this fits this stage. This isn't wrong at all, and then someone told me and I now can't unhear it. We just got... This is the section where we actually would require... Oh, wait, let me just do this proper. So we actually take damage boosts here because, unlike in X's mission, these fireballs are instant kill. Which is another thing about Extreme Mode. Typically, Extreme Mode makes certain things more difficult than the base modes. So yeah, these wouldn't be instant kill in X's any percent mission, or 100% for X for that matter. They're all not instant kill. So in order to avoid that, we just take a lot of damage on the lava here. And as Zero, because we have the reduced damage, it's much easier just to go on the bottom like that. And just faster in general. But yeah, essentially, the Japanese version just messed up the themes. This is corrected in the international release, but I just find it really funny because I literally didn't notice. I'm also trying to show off another difficult piece of tech. We don't really rely on it. There it is. If you jump at, like, the right frame once you land, if you do an air dash or just a dash jump, you can actually maintain your dash speed in the jump after, but it's like, we don't rely on it because it's really precise, like really precise, and we don't rely on it. I actually need to switch to X at the end here in order to get the weapon from Flame Mammoth. This is required because in order to unlock everything in X's in the remaining stages, we actually need X's weapon, not Zero's that we get from this. So we need to definitely defeat this boss as X. That's like a requirement. And more fast text. Okay, sure, game. Sure, I've gotten like half the things as fast text. This never happens. Like, this is insane. I'm sorry if I'm talking a lot. This game goes by pretty fast. Next we have Neon Tiger. All you Guns N' Roses fans out there, this sounds like a song from Guns N' Roses. Forget the name of it, but I don't want to get copyrighted on this stream. Anyway, so... yeah, so as, in, like, these sorts of stages, I might need to get a health upgrade here, just to be safe, because I've taken a lot more damage than I expected to. We have the Ride Armor here. We typically don't use the Ride Armor unless we need to, but the Ride Armor is necessary here to get this piece, and also just to break through all these areas anyway. With X's Air Dash, we have a bit more health, or a bit more maneuverability, so see if I can get some extra health. Thank you. Oh, that was tight. I almost could have died there. I'm gonna take this simple and re-health. And I'm also gonna... No, I'm just gonna keep this. Okay, cool. I just want to be really safe there. We switch to the Fire Wave we got, so we can break this down and access X's armor capsule. This is actually the armor capsule you would need to break the blocks in a Flame Mammoth stage if you were doing X mission, which is why you have to return to this one and then go back to the other stage, which is kind of unfortunate, but we can swap to Zero here and finish the rest of the stage as Zero. This basically reduces damage on X, because we do need to defeat this boss as X as well, just to get a weapon to make the next boss easier. Another Ride Armor section, we're going to use it to despawn some enemies by doing like this. So there are normally enemies up here, but we've despawned them because of how fast we've gone through the stage. And then we do the same pattern again. We're going to do 2 jump slashes, 2 Zero finals as Zero on Neon Tiger, and then leave the last 2 hits for X. So yeah, these fights are completely so I should also mention, 4 of these Mavericks are in the Zero mission, 4 of these Mavericks are in the X mission. The 4 that are in the X mission are the ones that are up top. Let's see if I can get them down again. The 4 that are in the X mission are up top, so they're Neon Tiger, Flame Mammoth, yeah, the ones in X mission are trying to get this right. Flame Mammoth, Neon Tiger, Launch Octopus, and Volt Catfish, those are in X mission, while the bottom 4, which are Wire Sponge, Blast Hornet, Tunnel Rhino, and Overdrive Ostrich, are all in Zero's mission. Again! Okay, maybe I figured it out. I don't know how I'm doing all these fast text, guys. I'm not cheating, I promise. I think I'm double tapping A at a certain point, but the thing is, fast text can happen even if you have no inputs at all. So, like, it just sometimes occurs. Man, that's insane. Like, seriously, I'm gonna show these to the Xtreme 2 guys, and they're gonna be like, how did you get it so often?
I mean, obviously it's skill.
Sure, it's skill, yeah. It's skill and sheer dumb luck. I have the best... I skilled myself into good RNG.
Nobody will know it's dumb luck if you don't say anything. Just say it's
That's
skill.
true, that's true. Oh, yeah, I totally did it all myself. This is the final heart tank. So we've split the heart tanks in a certain way here. 3 of them go to X, and 5 of them go to 0. Once we actually need to do something special here, and this is what we would skip in any percent for X. There is a sort of mini-boss here. By mini-boss, I just mean shoot at the thingy. Shoot at it, please. And then you can go down, you can fall down, go under here, and there's a secret mini-boss here as well. This unlocks the final bit of armor that we need. Oh, shoot, I died. Whoop. That's okay, though. Because, again, we have the save point right here, and so it loads us immediately back. I was just a bit, reckless there. That was my fault. So we can load onto the mini-boss here and just shoot at it like this. Yeah, I feel bad for that. That's okay. I'm not going to get any of the souls. I think we're good. I can just down A- here, and haha, goodbye, the profile for Dr. Light. Couldn't remember names here. This is the final armor for X, so we're actually going to have a sprite change after this, because X actually does have a different sprite for his full armor. So now we have the full armor. X is slightly different, yay! This has given X the half damage as well now, so both of them are fully powered up, and this is going to make just the category in general a bit easier to go through, which is why we do 100% more for Extreme than any percent, because any percent would not be that different, to be honest. It would just be get less of the capsules, and pretty much do the same. We're going to be here on the next mini-boss. This is very similar, as in pretty much the exact same to the mini-boss we just did, except it could have different patterns. Oh, that pattern is not great. Yeah, that's not a good pattern. Again, we want to be on a pattern that can stand on top of it, so... There we go. I'm going to switch to Ray Claw, which is the weapon we got from defeating the boss just then. And with Ray Claw, the item from Neon Tiger, we're able to do a sort of different pattern for Launch Octopus here, which is pretty neat. So yeah, Launch Octopus here is not weak to Ray Claw, but if we use Ray Claw, I hope you guys like Severed Arms. And that basically makes the boss completely immobile for a bit, so that means we can zero final twice, and then jump slash thrice, and there we go. Launch Octopus is done, and that is all the Mavericks done. So now we're on to the final stages for the game. Which is really cool. So that's the final bit of text here. Oh my god, how? 6 for 8! 6 for 8! I will take that. That is the luckiest I've ever gotten. 6 for 8. Wow. Okay. So now we're in Burkana and Gareth's Fortress. This is the first stage of 3. So the first section here is really fast, really quick stage. Another bit of climby section. The music here is one of my favorite songs in the entire game. It's really good. There is a Rhine Armor here, but we can just skip it. Because it's just as fast to use Zero normally. This section over here is faster than the other alternate path right there. Ooh, are we stuck in the platform? Yes, we are, but that's okay. Go up the ladder here. Through here, and essentially, yeah, there's just a lot of quick movement in this section, which is really fun. Yeah, one of the major things I love about Xtreme 2 is just how fast it is. This is a Game Boy Color game. Like, honestly, the speed for this game is insane. We now have Velgarder coming up. Velgarder is weakest to, I believe, Drill Crush, so we're going to use Drill Crush 3 times instead of Jump Slashing, because Sprite's a bit too low to Jump Slash. And then we'll use Zero Final twice, as usual. Oh, Doggo want to come towards me? Then okay, I guess. Use Zero Final once. And use it again. And that is Velgarder done. So yeah, Extreme 2, I recommend that, like, if you have a 3DS, play Extreme 2, you're not going to regret it. It's on the eShop for like $5. It's honestly a really fun game. Now we're going to do a very slight skip here. Hopefully I can nail it first try. Notice platform skip. It's damage boosting, basically, the move. Oh, boy, that was a close platform skip, but I will take that. That laser is instant kill as well. Whew. We've had some really close calls here so far. Okay, so I'm going to actually end the scrolling of the screen there early so that we can go a bit faster through that. Because sometimes the screen scroll can lock you, and we don't want that. I'm going to switch to X in the near future here, because we actually, in order to do this section, you kind of need X's like foot parts. You can technically do it without the foot parts, without the up dashing, but boy oh boy, that is not fun to try to do. So just use the up dashing, it's much safer, much easier. And then we have the bane of pretty much anyone who's played this game is the boss in this area, which is Izaz and Zawilo. Sometimes just simply known as Sphinx Tank, because, I mean, that's a description of what it is. So yeah, flashing. Whoop. Once we get through this section, hopefully within less than 2 cycles, but nah, I think, no. It's just not giving it to me. It doesn't want me to not bear the fire. We're going to switch to 0 here, and I'm going to need to do some damage boosting yet again. So basically this boss has like 2 faces. And so long as I actually aim correctly, we can use 0 final on it twice. So if I just get hit here... And I can do... Oh, let me try that again. I can just go over and down, and there we go. Izaz and Zawilo done. Whew! That was a good Berkana Gareth stage 2. That boss can be really frustrating to deal with because of all the hits. And another gold. Nice. Okay, now before we enter, we have to get the parts we need here. I need this one, Ultimate Buster. I need, not this one. I need X plus 2, X Buster plus 1, and Zero Saber plus 2. Those are the ones we need to equip. Because we don't have auto charge on, we actually want to equip a part that essentially does the charge shot for us, which is Ultimate Buster. This is useful for the final boss. So as, for instance, as 0 here, we're going to equip plus 2, we're going to switch to X, and then we're going to menu over to get X plus 2 and plus 1. And then we're going to switch to 0 to get through this area as quick as possible. But we want to finish with X. This is really important. We need to finish with X because in the individual stories, this is where the path diverges. In order to get 100% in extreme mode, you actually just finish this section as X. So in the regular modes in this game, this stage essentially splits depending on who you play as. If you're in 0 mission, it'll do 0 section, even if you finish as X in this area, and the same for X, it'll do X's area, but in extreme mode, it depends on who you finish as, what actual section is played, and this is where the split happens for the bid war. We don't do 0 section because there is not a power-up we need there, and also the boss is harder for 0 section. So instead, we do X's section, which will give us the secret weapons, the Hadouken and Shoryuken, which aren't actually used in this run, or at all, because it requires a charge. So that is why, that's what actually gives 0 100% or any percent its unique traits. Because we don't actually do 0 section in Extreme. We do X's. So I'm going to wait for this platform to arrive. Gonna go over here, gonna boost. Just gonna air dash down here and go through. Those are also instant kill. The floor is instant kill, the wave is instant kill. So you need to despawn the wave as soon as possible. We have +2 and +1, which the powers do stack. So that basically means that we get really good damage traits. And then we have these sections, this section up here. These lasers are instant kill. Pretty much everything in Extreme Mode is instant kill, but these are instant kill in the base game as well. Whew. Sorry, I'm panicking a little bit. I'm actually going to go through this laser, though. This is actually the secret area to get the power-ups. Sorry for freaking out a little bit there. Sometimes these platforms can get to you. So these are the Hadouken and Shoryuken. We need them to complete the game 100%, but they aren't actually used. And so once we're done there, I'm going to air dash over to here so that we can, like, not die. If you down dash there, you could actually hit the laser underneath and die. And then next we got Berkana. I hope you guys really, really hate the letters A and B, because we're going to learn to hate the letters A and B. They are terrible letters in the alphabet, and I'm sorry for anyone who has an A or a B in their name. But we have to shoot those letters. It's unfortunate, really. It's like the opposite of any sort of kids programming, but... Berkana has these weapons. She can shoot A or B at us. She's shooting B at us right now. That goes twice, and if we hit it, if we accidentally touch it, it disables our, the button that's mentioned. So that would disable the jump. and that would disable the shooting if we hit B. Fortunately, we did pretty decent with Berkana. Although Berkana is obviously arguably one of my weaker points in the run. Okay, so we're basically at the end game at this point. There is a boss rush coming up. And essentially, we're going to use Zero for most of it. We only get basically 2 shots at Zero final, so most of the bosses now are going to use Jump Slashes. Jump Slashes with Zero's 2 upgraded abilities, the +1 and +2, now make Jump Slashes 6 points of damage instead of 4, meaning that a Zero final which takes 10 points is actually slower than just doing 2 Jump Slashes. So with that in mind, this is actually a good time to just like shout out any organizations or any donations, because this is basically just refighting all the bosses.
Yes, we had a $20 donation from Anonymous who said, I couldn't sleep, but that meant I was awake in time for Xtreme, with a happy face. And that $20 donation sniped the bid war.
Oh,
now it
oh,
is,
please, ew. That Zero is harder, Zero is harder,
now it is 100% Zero mission in the lead at
Okay.
$21. And any percent X mission is just right behind at $20. So you have the boss rush if you want to see that any percent X mission more. It'll only take $2 to flip that bid war back.
I might give those $2. Zero is hard, but sure, I'm happy to show that. We've actually done some swapping around here. I swapped to Ultimate Buster and +2 for X. Confusingly, X actually has 4 parts to equip before you get the final armor, and then only has 2 parts to equip after the final armor, which is kind of confusing, but... Oh, come on, go down. Thank you. So... effectively, like, we're just defeating all the bosses at this point with Jump Slashes, because Zero Final really isn't needed unless you want to avoid, like, a certain pattern. Which I'll actually be doing for, Wire Sponge, for the same reason we did it in the run earlier. I should be good with, when it comes to, like, damage at this point, though. Like, I shouldn't be worried at all. Very clean catfish. And that's all of X's bosses done, I'm pretty sure. So now we're on to Zero's bosses. And I'm going to start off with Sponge. Let's see what pattern Sponge gives this time, because we were very lucky with our Sponge. I'm going to use Zero Final here to make sure Sponge is dead. No! This is the pattern I was referring to. The Desperation mode does this little animation, and it just takes time. And so we got 3 more bosses left. I'm just getting extra health so that we can be a bit safe. This is Tunnel Rhino again. Use Zero Final immediately, just so no matter what the pattern is, I'll be good. Good Tunnel Rhino. We have 2 more bosses left. Those are Overdrive Ostrich and Blast Hornet. Just gonna go right into Ostrich. Yeah, this is still very good pace. I could very well PB. So yeah, Overdrive Ostrich is all dependent upon the patterns, if he goes into the background or not. If he goes into the background, it can waste a bit of time, but this is still pretty good. Gonna get the extra health so that it goes to our sub-tank. So yeah, this entire time, the sub-tank has been collecting any souls as additional health within, like, our system. So as long as we're, like, I can't words anymore, I'm concentrating. As long as we got, like, full health, it'll take any extra health we get and put it into our sub-tank, which means we can access it later. So, in order for marathon safety, I'm trying to get up the, sub-tanks. Come on, jump. So now once we're here, we actually got Sigma up next, the first phase. I forgot to split for the boss rush here on my end, so I'm gonna have a slightly off time. Gonna just skip that split. And so once we're here, we got Sigma, phase 1. Sigma here is weak to the dash slash, oddly enough, the air dash slash. It's 8 points of damage. So in order to actually do this boss, you jump slash instead. And not jump slash, but air dash slash, which is the one where you're sort of vertical, like that. Also, warning, there's a flashing warning here. There's a lot of flashing in this final boss, so I'm just gonna warn anyone who might have any flashing issues. Seriously, every time we hit this boss, for some reason, it flashes. I'm gonna swap over to X, who I actually need to switch over to his main weapon. And now that we have Ultimate Buster on, every shot is a charge shot, which is what Sigma is weak to here. Once Sigma is vulnerable, we air dash slash again as 0, and then swap back to X. And we want to shoot him 4 times as X. He's only weak to X if he's yellow. And he's only weak to 0 if he's red. And if he's weak to both if he's blue. So it's dependent just on patterns. Okay, it takes 4 hits total. And so we're almost on time. Ah. Okay, what is happening? Laser? Oh no! Ah, that's my fault. Ah, I should have killed him there. Oh well. That's unfortunate. Okay, and time. That's not a PB, but that's so close to a PB. It's only 20 seconds off my PB. 39:29 on my end. That was a really good run. That was a really good run. Wow. I'm surprised. Well, there we go. That was a 39:29. That is incredible, honestly.
39:28 here.
Yeah, still. My PB is 39:01, so that's really good. If I didn't have that death in a Launch Octopus, it could have possibly PB'd. I made that one error of not dash slashing, so that, like, took what would have been 8 points of damage, made it 7, and had 1 left over. That was really nice. So yeah, that is Mega Man Xtreme 2 Xtreme 100%, but this is not the end of the run for us. So, did anyone snipe it back? It's just my curiosity.
No, unfortunately...
No? Okay.
I mean, fortunately for us, though, so
yeah,
it's
so,
gonna be the 100%.
Cool. This is gonna be something. I'm gonna warn you guys right now. 0 100%. 0 is not a category that most people do. Just gonna say that right now. 0 is not a category most people do, but I was more than willing to do it for the sake of this marathon. 0 100%. I chose not to do any percent pretty